Hello buddy, Senior Engineer MBA and investor, and in today's video we are talking about the latest press release from CRISPR Therapeutics about their latest in vivo program. I want to talk about all of that here in this video. And of course, this was a press release that was published just recently on the 6th of November, which is basically yesterday. CRISPR Therapeutics announces preclinical data at the AHA Scientific Session 2023. CTX310 led to durable reductions of ANGPTL3 and triglyceride levels in non-human primates after a single dose. CTX320 led to durable reductions after a single dose of lipoproteins. Both 310 and 320 well tolerated in NHPs at clinical relevant dose levels. Clinical trial initiated for CTX310 targeting ANGPTL3. CTX320 targeting LPA is on track to enter clinical in the first half of 2024. So let's go through this before I give my thoughts here. Take a look at this. It's the in vivo, of course. It's just as a reminder, 310 and 320 are in vivo programs. This is their first set of in vivo programs for CRISPR Therapeutics. They were always known for ex vivo, which again, as a reminder to people who may not be aware, in vivo versus ex vivo. Ex vivo is basically you get cells, patients out of the body, you do some work at the factory, you basically inject it back to the human body. It's obviously much more complicated than that, but that's the idea of ex vivo. Think of exterior. And then in vivo is basically interior, right? So basically whatever you do, you actually do it directly in the body. You can do that through livers, you can do that through even the brain and so on, but in this case they're doing the liver here. So we'll take a look at maybe a quote here. We're excited to share preclinical data at AHA highlighting the progress made across our in vivo programs. Okay, these findings demonstrate the potential of a one-time treatment to produce clinically meaningful, long-lasting reductions in risk factors of cardiovascular diseases. Okay, so we won't read much of it. This is pretty much straightforward. So first of all, this is on non-human, right? So I want to, emphasize that this is not on human. This is all preclinical data, which means on animals. Actually, I think it's on monkeys. I think this is on the monkey. Is it on monkey? I should know this. I'm not even sure if it's on the monkey. I think it's on monkeys. But regardless what it is, they got good data from it. So 310, 320, 310, they're starting clinical trial rather, targeting the ANGPTL3, which again, if you're aware of this space, you know that Verve is doing something similar with in vivo, but they're doing with base editing with the licensed technologies from Beam Therapeutics. And of course, CRISPR Therapeutics can't actually do that, so they're doing their own technology here, but it's still in vivo. So what are my thoughts here? First of all, I'm very happy to see this. It just feels like CRISPR Therapeutics is firing from all cylinders here. Obviously, we saw over the weekend what the external committee told the FDA about their leading program, Hexacell, and of course that's ex vivo, that's CRISPR-Cas9, that's the original CRISPR, if you want to put it that way. But this is something different, right? This is in vivo. This is obviously targeting heart diseases, which is, of course, the leading cause of death in America and in Canada. So heart diseases, suffice to say, it is the disease you want to tackle, right? And something like this here, it's obviously a good thing for the space. I saw a couple of criticism, people saying, oh, Verve, data was, more safe or so on. Guys, there is room for a lot of winners in this space, right? Just think about it. One company cannot solve all diseases. Even if you take one disease, if you take just one particular heart disease, there's no way one company can cover that worldwide. Maybe they could cover in a particular region, and I'm not talking about in the US, I'm talking maybe a state. But to say that, in the whole US alone, And obviously, it's not just US, right? There's Canada, Europe, Africa, Asia. There's so many regions out there. There's room for a lot of winners, right? Is there room for 50 winners? Probably not. But to say that there's only going to be one winner in this space in a particular disease is quite, it's quite ridiculous as a statement, right? So I think this is amazing for this space. I think it's amazing for Verve in a sense because, first of all, they get exposure of their own data, indirectly, and second, they sort of reinforce the point that heart diseases are the leading cause of death in many nations around the world. And I think it is a great thing that these companies are working on it. So to me, this is great data. The second criticism, it comes from my end. It's not really criticism. It's more like feedback from the public, to the public rather. I remember there was a time the CRISPR therapeutics was always seen as the outdated technology. I still remember this. If you go back to 2021, 2022, a lot of people were saying at the time, CRISPR therapeutics is old news. They did well in the late 2010s and early 2020s, but now set room for Beam Therapeutics, Prime Medicine. You look at Verve, you look at these companies, and I think this reinforces the point that you should never bet against winners, right? CRISPR Therapeutics is the company with the most patients dosed through different programs. It is the company furthest in the CRISPR race. I mean, just in literally a month, we may have the first ever CRISPR-based therapy on a human commercial, and that is, of course, from a program that CRISPR Therapeutics started with and still owns 40%, alongside with Vertex, which owns 60%. So I think it's quite ridiculous as a statement in the past, and I've always said that in the past, right? I think you guys are forgetting the whole point of where we are in this landscape. And I understand people often, look at technology companies and, the first mover gets, the big prize. And in this case, there is no commercial program, right? So the first mover doesn't really get the first prize. In fact, I would argue that the first mover is probably risking more than people that are actually in the sidelines. And what I'm trying to explain here is that CRISPR Therapeutics did not go into in vivo. They stuck with the ex vivo with their hexacell. They stuck with ex vivo with the CAR T cells programs. And then just last year, they said, okay, we want to tackle heart diseases now. Now it's a good time. As Verve went public and started getting clinical data on their patients. And of course, their program was paused for numerous of reasons, which I won't go in this video. But they saw that market now, and it's all about timing, right? Sometimes it is about timing, right? And you guys gotta remember, these companies are run by individuals that are day in and out in this space, right? They're aware of this space. They're aware of what the FDA thinks about CRISPR. They're aware of what the public is, not the public, just the public, but just, the scientific community are saying about CRISPR. And for them to choose to go to in vivo at that time, I would say is the best decision for their company. And you can see here getting amazing data and now starting their clinical trial. I mean, now they have a huge balance sheet money in the bank. I mean, they have almost 2 billion cash still. They have this program that's bound to go commercial early next year. They have one initiated clinical trial with this program, CTX310, another CTX320, targeting a different set of proteins there for 2024 in the first half of 2024. And of course, they have the whole CAR T cell program, which I'm not really bullish on, but that's beside the point. And then they have the whole diabetes things, which we have yet to get any sort of update. And it's going to be 2 years now, actually. But put that all aside. I mean, I think this company is doing a good thing. And I think it's a great reminder for people to not bet against companies that are winners, right? I think you got to be careful, guys. You got to be careful to bet against winners. Especially people that a team and a company that have demonstrated that they can lead a program such as Hexacell to a potential FDA approval or get to that point, right? It'll be naive to say, oh, they can't do in vivo, they'll stick with ex vivo. Look, they're still doing CRISPR-Cas9. It's not like in vivo is a revolutionary technology, but for the love we give Antilia, I think there is some love to be given here to CRISPR Therapeutics. They've now officially proven that they can enter in the in vivo race, and I think they have here officially. So I think it's good. It's good for investors. It's good for this company, and it's of course good for patients. I mean, heart disease is a huge problem in North America, in Europe. It's a huge problem, guys. And although they're other diseases that I would like these companies to tackle. Heart diseases are not rare diseases, right? This is very popular. I mean, I'm pretty sure that all of us watching this video have at least 2 to 5 people in our family tree that have passed away because of heart diseases. At least, I'm being generous here with the numbers. So this is a serious problem, and I think CRISPR would definitely goes mainstream with tackling these types of diseases. Don't get me wrong, you'll still go mainstream by tackling, sickle cell disease or beta thalassemia, but heart disease, you can bet people are going to be chasing this. People with serious heart disease problems and even moderate heart disease problem in their 60s, 70s, they're not going to be they're going to be following this company and these news, right? So this is big, guys. This is big. I'm going to end this video like this, guys. Just as a reminder, I'm actually on the road here. I'm actually going to Europe, specifically in Italy. Tonight, I'm flying from Toronto to Italy direct, and I will be back basically in 21st November in Toronto. So I'm not even sure if I'll be able to make a video. I'll bring my laptop and of course my microphone if I can make a video. But if I can't, guys, I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. So hope you guys appreciate this. As always, subscribe if you're not, like this video if you found value, and let me know, guys, what do you guys think about CRISPR Therapeutics data, preclinical data on these programs. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys.